Our genomic educator is going to create the seasonal blooms embroidered footstool on the Janome Continental M17 sewing and embroidery machine. This project features machine embroidery applique, grid quilting and a concealed zipper. The links for this project are included in the description below. Following the manufacturer's instructions, attach the fusible fleece to the wrong side of the two 20-inch blocks and the 14 by 65-inch piece of fabric. Using the quilting ruler and the erasable fabric marker, rule a 45-degree guideline onto both 20-inch blocks. Repeat this for the 14 by 65-inch piece of fabric too. Attach the Accessory Flex AD foot and change to the straight stitch needle plate. Attach the quilting bar and set it at 1 inch. Select the utility stitch number 3. Change the stitch length to 3 and engage the even feed key. Thread the sewing machine with the complementary quilting thread, top and bottom. Using the thumb wheel, line up the needle drop position with the marked guideline. Following the guideline, stitch from one edge of the fabric to the other. To begin the second line of stitching, line the quilting guide bar up with the previously stitched line. Using this stitched line as the guide, stitch out the second line of stitching. Continue until the entire surface is covered. Using the quilting ruler and the erasable fabric marker, rule a 45-degree guideline in the opposite direction to create the quilted pattern. Cover the entire surface of the fabric in grid style quilting, complete for all 3 pieces of fabric. Using the printed template, transfer the 4 crosshairs from the top template to the 20 by 20 inch piece of quilted fabric. Make sure you include the up arrows. Using the first crosshair and the hoop template. Hoop the quilted fabric with a single layer of medium weight tearaway stabilizer. Don't forget to attach the magnets. Remove the AccuFeed Flex AD foot and attach the P foot. Insert the bobbin that's filled with bobbin fill. Insert the USB into the machine and select Embroidery mode. Select the Open File key. Select your USB and open the EMB folder and select the Footstool top design. Attach the hoop to the machine. Using the thumb wheel, match the needle drop position with the marked crosshair. Use the layout keys to fine-tune the needle position if needed. While holding the thread tail, select the trace key. Select Trace and Base single option. Base stitch the fabric to the stabilizer in the hoop. Select the Color section key. This screen will now only display the sections that will be stitched out in that individual colour. The first colour change will be the placement stitch. This will show you where the applique shapes will be stitched out. For the purpose of this exercise, we have used a contrasting thread so you can see the stitch out on the video recording. Place the fabric over the top of the applique section and stitch out the next colour change in a matching embroidery thread. This will be the fabric tack down stitch. Trim the excess fabric back to the stitch line. Use the hoop back key to move the hoop's position to access the embroidery area if needed. Use the hoop back key to move the hoop back into place. Keep the machine threaded in the same embroidery thread and stitch out the next colour change. This will add the satin border stitch to the applique section. Rethread your machine with your second colour choice. We're using a purple for our sample. Place the second piece of applique fabric on the stitched out placement line. Stitch out the next colour change to tack the fabric into place. Trim the excess fabric back to the stitch lines. Use the hoop back key if needed. Stitch out the next colour change to add the satin border to the applique section. Continue working through the colour changes until all the applique sections are added. Remove the hoop from the machine when the design is completed. Remove the magnets from the hoop, remove the fabric from the hoop, and remove the basting stitch and stabilizer from the fabric. Rotate the fabric clockwise to the second crosshair and hoop the fabric and a single layer of stabilizer using the hoop template. Don't forget to attach the magnets. Attach the hoop to the machine. Use the layout keys to adjust the needle drop position. Baste the fabric to the stabilizer in the hoop. Repeat the same process as before and stitch out all applique shapes. Remove the magnets and basting stitch. Rehoop the fabric using the third crosshair. Repeat the same steps until all 4 hoopings have been stitched out. Remove the guide line markings and press with an iron. Using the printed template, trim the excess fabric away and transfer the 8 dots onto the fabric from the template. Using the printed template to cut the same shape out from the second blank 20-inch block. Using the RE46D hoop, working the same method as the circular embroidery top, follow the printed template and stitch out the band designs. Using the printed template for the band fabric, trim the excess fabric away and transfer the dots. These will be used to assemble all the pieces. Using the concealed zipper foot, attach the zipper to the short end pieces of the embroidered band. Using the dots, line up the embroidered band with the embroidered top. Pin right sides together. With the dual feed VD single foot attached, select Utility Stitch 3 and the even feed engaged. Stitch the 2 pieces together using the edge of the foot as the guide. Make sure the zipper is open and attach the base fabric in the same way. Stitch the layers together using the edge of the foot as the guide. Turn through the open zipper and fill with bean